Hello everybody. Welcome to Yolanda the Crochet Addict. I'm still looking the same like in the last quite few videos. Jelani just came back. He bathed Rex because he smelled like death. Anyways, welcome to my channel. And that mess behind me is my widget haul opening stuff that I did maybe 4 or 5 hours ago. I've been busy all day today. Is all about making some content for next couple weeks. So I've been telling you guys that I want to make something new. I have never seen anyone do any type of segment or talk about yarn history or more in depth about yarn. So, welcome to segment 1 of Fun with Yarn. If Fun with Yarn kind of rings your bell, let me know. Because I'm not a geek, but there's a show that I watch that it has similar content, not with yarn, but it kind of sounds the same. Anyways, so are you ready for fun with yarn? So I am using this book to write down notes because I did some research about yarn. So today we are going to learn a few things about yarn if you did not know. Did you ever wonder, when did the first yarn came out? When did people started creating yarn? Well, if you want to know all that, this is the segment for you. So, let's see. So the oldest yarn or anything similar, back then yarn was not what it is now. But the very first creation of yarn and subjects that were made of substance from yarn was found around 20,000 years ago. So they found some stuff that was kind of made of yarn from 20,000 years ago. Isn't that interesting and amazing? So, and it also was found in ancient Europe. So I guess that's where it all began. And soon after, they started finding yarn fiber content in Asia. Let's see. So at that time, they made yarn from plant and animal fibers only. So what they did was they rolled, they didn't have those spin wheels like we do now, the yarn spinning things. They did not have that then. So what they did, they rolled the fiber between the like on the thigh, and they had the yarn between your paw and like the finger pads, and they would roll it on your thighs. So that's how they created the yarn. So yes, it says they would, so you would roll it between your palm down your thigh. That's how you created the yarn. And as you was running out of fiber, you would just keep adding fiber to it. Once you had a good length of string, you tied it to a rock and twirled it until the whole thing was twisted enough to stay together. So that's how they created the strand of yarn. So first you roll it between your paw hand and the thigh until it was long enough. Then you would tie it to the heavy rock, and then you spin the rock so the yarn spins. So that's what they did when they didn't have a spinning wheel. So spindles started appear 5000 BC. So for about 13,000 years, there was no spinning wheel. And 5000 BC, so 5,000 years before Christ, that's when you started seeing spindles, which was about 1,000 years before invention of the wheel. Put it in perspective, that spindle came out before invention of the wheel. So they didn't have spinning wheel because there was no such thing as a wheel. Isn't that crazy? When I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is interesting. So for 4,000 BC, so 4,000 years before Christ, they had some kind of spinning wheel that did not have an actual wheel because the wheel was not in existence anywhere. Technology went crazy fast after 1900s. So it also says first spindle was just straight sticks to wind the yarn onto. So it was a long, so I googled the pictures, and what I could come up with, it was this long stick, and it would have this cushion of the plant fiber or animal fibers on top of it, and then they would just between the fingers spin it. Oh, I'm sorry. Later version had bone hooks. These spindles had to be rolled along the thigh. So you rolled the spindle along your thigh to make the yarn. What? It's because they did not have that wheel. It took a lot of people and a lot of time to make just one garment. That's why only the rich were wearing these beautiful garments, because you couldn't make yarn. Some believe first wheel originated in India, spinning wheel. Some believe first spinning wheel originated in India between 500 and 1000 AD. I'm sorry. So that is it for this segment. Isn't that interesting? You never think about the history of yarn. You just think, ooh, Karen Simply Soft is so soft, it's a new yarn, it's this, it's a hook, it's these different inventions to crochet and knit things like knitting machines. But you never just go and look where it all began. I will insert a picture of one of the oldest looking so-called yarn spinner. I can't call it a wheel because there was no wheel. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts? Did you think that yarn has been around for that long? Back then people just wore... Rex is growling at somebody. Did you thought that people had yarn back then? Even during king and queen times, medieval times, you did not have much yarn. Even when I was growing up in Lithuania, when I was a kid, I don't remember that because I was just a baby. Excuse me. My mom and my grandmother had this business going. It was just after Lithuania gained independence. That's when I was born, 1988. Fun fact, my birth certificate says USSR. Sorry, I had to like think how it translates. USSR. So it doesn't say Lithuania. Anyway, so my mom and my grandmother ran this business, they would drive the bus. Like, they did not have their own vehicle. They would take a bus to Leningrad in Russia. They would go to this sheep farm, and this sheep farmer, he would sell just the wool itself. Like, he would shear the sheep, put it in these huge bags, these huge potato sack bags, and he would somebody wants to say hello. He's nice and clean now. So they would put it in a potato sack, these huge bags that were made out of this like fabric, rough fabric thing. And they would haul it back, and then in the basement of my grandma's house, they would boil the wool, and they would brush it, they would spin it. There was no fancy yarn. It was not colorful yarn. The only color they had was what the sheep color it was. So it was only like black, gray, and basically they all were like cream/white. So gray ones were more expensive yarn when they sold it. So, and they would sell that yarn because there was no yarn back then in Lithuania. Yeah. So my grandmother and my mom made a lot of money like that. Sorry, my hair. So that's how things went after Lithuania gained independence from Russia. It was interesting. Like, I don't remember that happening, and I know they did that for quite a few years. I just remember the smell of wool. So every time I smell wool now, it brings me back to my grandma's basement, because that's where the kitchen was. So my grandma had pretty up-to-date house. They had electricity. They did not have they did not have running water in the house itself. They did not have plumbing. So they did have outhouse, but it was a brick house, and the basement had two different stoves. They were both type of stoves that were, one was for water heating, so you could use either coal or wood, and it would heat up the water, which would heat up the whole house. You would have these radiators in every room, and that's how you would heat up the house. And then the other stove, excuse me, and then, you know me, I'm always yawning in the videos. And then the other stove was this huge, more like medieval time, I guess, stove. It's ginormous. The pots were like huge. I can't even show you. The pots were ginormous. And you would put it over the fire. So it would be these huge holes, round, open holes in that stove. It was also, you would use wood and coal. And they were huge holes. It was all open fire. It was literally like it was in medieval times, kind of. Very close to that. And you would put these huge pots, and that's how you would boil things. And when I was growing up there, I remember my grandma already having a gas stove, also in that same basement kitchen. But yeah, every time I smell any kind of wool anywhere, I right away remember the warm, hot wool that was freshly just out of the water. What, Rexy? Okay, he wants to say hello. Oh, did you miss Mama's? Mama has been busy making videos all day today. What, babies? So that's that. Okay, Rex, away. He does not stop. He does not stop. So I did unboxing today of the huge ginormous order of ice yarns, and I'm missing 11 packs. I'm missing 11 packs of yarn. It's not a 1 pack, it's not 2 packs, it's 11 packs. That is a lot of yarn to miss. So I mailed the ice yarns. So I guess if you order a big order, please make sure you check your order when you receive it, that you don't miss yarn. I'm still waiting for my missing shipment from Minnesota, so that's it for today. Oh, just quickly I want to show you. I got this Christmas card a little bit back, a while back, and it is from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. It is a beautiful card, and it says, "Thank you for all the kindness you bring to the world." And it says, "To Sylvia," and it's from Michelle. It says, "A little gift of blessings and protection, your friend Michelle." So she sent me this. I'm assuming this is a stitch marker, but I'm pretty sure this is a stitch marker. It's really cute. It says, "Pray for us." And I believe it's St. John, correct? Or am I wrong? It is St. John. Okay. So this is St. John. She wrote me in a letter. She wrote me a small letter, and she explained to me about St. John. So I know in America, St. John has maybe a little bit different representation. It's kind of similar to what Lithuanian Catholics believe in. She says he's a saint of love, loyalty, friendships, and nature. Yeah, so thank you very much. I was raised Catholic. I am not very religious myself. I am spiritual. But Saint John in Lithuania, for Lithuanian Catholics, is considered as a protector for your travels. So I remember every time whenever we would go somewhere with my grandma further away, we would go to church and pray to St. John for safe journey. You would have in Lithuania, in the Catholic churches, you have Jesus in front of the, like at the altar is the Jesus cross, and then on the left you have Saint John, and then on the right you have Saint Mary. You have Mary, the Virgin Mary. So, and they believe that you pray to each saint for whatever you needed. So Mary was considered, you know, when you need anything to do with family, love, your kids, fertility, you would go to her to pray for all that stuff. And you would go to St. John if you was going on a trip, or somebody when your family is going on a trip, you would pray for him for a safe journey. And I don't know what this is called in English. Please let me know, guys, in the comments below. What is this called? Sorry, my nails are not done. What is this called in English? I have no idea what it's called. Is it a pin? Like, I don't know what it's called. And so Lithuanians believe that this thing, if you want to shoo away bad spirits, the bad eye away from yourself, to protect yourself for, bad evil, you put this anywhere inside your sweater. So, because it doesn't have to show. I mean, you can put it wherever. Usually you put it like on the bottom of your shirt on the inside. And it's supposed to shoosh away all the bad spirits. And St. John helps for your safe travels. Even though I'm not strongly religious, I do believe, like, I will pray to St. John if I'm going on road trips and stuff. Yeah. So thank you, Michelle, so much. I will definitely have this whenever I go with my yarn somewhere, because a lot of times if I'm driving somewhere far and Jelani is driving, I take some crochet stuff. So thank you again. This means a lot to me, just because it's something like my grandmother would always give me something like this. She always, and it's supposed to be a necklace. Well, at least in Lithuania, like, these little charms are for your necklace, and you put like the chain around it. I remember when I was a kid, I had one just like that, much lighter though. It's a heavier metal. So you would have these ladies outside the church selling, what do you call it? When the priest, like, does his, what do you call that action? I wish Jelani was here. He would know exactly what I'm trying to say. Make it, puts protection on it so it becomes holy, if that makes sense. So it becomes like kind of your protection. It sprays that holy water on your thing, and the priest says the prayer and sprays some water on it. What is that action called? I have no idea what it's called in English. So yeah, so this makes me really happy because it reminds me of when I was a kid in Lithuania and my grandma gave me this. So you would have these ladies from church, because you had a couple church ladies that would help the priest around, and they would live at the church. They were not nuns, but they were devoted to the priest and God and the church. So it would be like usually like 2 of them, sometimes just 1, caretakers, and they would sell the holy crosses and stuff. So I remember my grandma bought a symbol like this years ago. I wish I still had it. Yep, so that's it for today. And I think this is my last video for today. I will be posting this video. Oh, wait a minute. I have a thing to open. I got a little emotional because I love my grandma. she was taken away way too early. She was such a good, kinded person. I can honestly say that I look at things the way I look is because of her. I am the person that I am because of her. Anyways, let's look at this before I start crying over here on the video. So, I ordered some stuff from... Sorry. Michelle, you made me cry. Giving me all kinds of memories from all times. Thank you again. So, on Etsy, I ordered some, what are they called? Like the fabric eyes? Can't remember that word. So, I think this is what came in. For amigurumi and things like that. Oh, she also sent me a little sticker. That's cute. Okay. It's for Lavi, whatever they're called, eyes. And they have different sizes. It's out of this like little fabric, these eyes for amigurumi. They're very expensive on Etsy, but I totally get it. You know, you put in work. They have the printer. I don't. Because if you have the special printer, you can print it out yourselves. It's not that hard, but look how cute these eyes are. Oh, I can't wait to use it for my toys. I need to get going on these toys. So really cute. I bought a bunch of them. I think there should be maybe 6 of them, I think. 6 pairs or 5 pairs. I know I bought a couple of them. So there should be another shipment coming in. There should be a couple more shipments coming in from Etsy with my toy eyes. And it says, thank you for supporting my small business. It's really cute envelope too. Maybe I'll reuse it. Let's see. I think I'll save it and reuse it if I need to send somebody something small. So that's it today for this video. I want to wish you all a happy new year. Oh, another thing. So the winners, your boxes are packed up. One person has not sent me their address. They emailed me, but did not email me their address. I emailed them twice asking for their address. They have not replied, so they might be just gone for New Year's. So I was waiting so I can ship all the boxes at once, so I don't have to go to post office constantly. But I think I'm going to just mail out to 3 people the boxes who did send me their addresses. And I'm going to wait on that person until January 2nd. If I don't hear from them, I will have to do a new pick another winner, because I don't want that box to go to waste. It's already packed. So email me your address. I did email you twice asking for address, so I don't know, maybe she doesn't want her gift. But she was very excited in the email. She said a lot of stuff except for the address. Well, a happy New Year's to everybody. I was going to make a video tomorrow, but honestly, I spent all day making content, organizing the yarn. I am all poofed out. All I want to do now is just crochet. I really want to. I have just 3 more days left of days off. I want to enjoy crocheting. So, a lot of stuff got done. I hope you all have a great, happy new year. Let me know, what do you guys have what goals you have for 2023. I keep saying 2024. I'm just skipping the whole year. So let me know what are your goals. My goals is to make sure that I put out one video a week, crochet more, be able to do more, have more time for myself. I work too much. I need to just enjoy life. Life is too short, you know. So that's the plan. And the other plan that is not yarn related, my goal is to pay off 2 of the credit cards. That's my plan. And then I will be cutting them apart because, why am I going out of focus? Come back. There we go. Okay, guys. I hope you all had a great Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you next year. Bye, everybody.